A few years ago, I noticed something strange. People ask, "How are you?" all the time, at work, at school, at the grocery store. But most of the time, they don't actually want the answer. How are you? Good, good. And the conversation is over. Then one day I started wondering, what if people actually answered honestly? What would we hear? Would we hear about the bills they can't pay, the marriage they're trying to save, the child they're worried about, the loneliness they never told anyone about, the fear, the uncertainty, the burden they've carried for years? Or have we become so busy that we have forgotten how to talk about what really matters? When was the last time someone asked, "How are you doing?" and actually waited for your answer? Not your boss, not your coworker, not your neighbor, maybe not even your own family. When was the last time someone looked you in the eye and asked, "How are you doing?" and meant it? Because you are carrying something. And if that's true, I want you to know something. You and your life's journey matter. Every morning, millions of people wake up and face another day. Some are excited, some are exhausted, some are hopeful, some are barely holding on. There are people trying to save their marriage, people trying to raise children, people trying to pay bills, people trying to overcome addiction, people trying to rebuild after failure, people trying to find a reason to keep going. And most of them look perfectly normal from the outside. That's the strange thing about being human. The greatest battles are often invisible. How many people smiled at you today? Was it genuine? How about your facial expressions? Is your smile a cover-up for the pain that you are enduring? Do you show the world that everything is fine? But on the inside, the depression, the anxiety symptoms are being suppressed. How many of you are carrying pain behind a smile? How many people are hoping someone notices? I think that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen more and talk less. Because most people aren't looking for someone to solve their problems. Most people aren't looking for a lecture or a debate or another opinion. They're looking for someone willing to listen, someone willing to understand, someone willing to stay. Do people really listen anymore? Or are they simply waiting for their turn to speak? I've realized something. Most of the time, people don't need someone to feel sorry for them. They don't need someone to tell them what they should do. They don't need someone to have all the answers. Sometimes they just need someone willing to sit with them in the dark until the lights come back on. Someone who isn't afraid of their struggles. Someone who isn't rushing to fix them. Someone who simply says, "I'm here." Maybe that's what understanding really is. Not fixing, not judging, not advising, just being present. Have you ever felt misunderstood? Have you ever felt like nobody saw what you were carrying? Have you ever smiled when you weren't okay? Have you ever told people you were fine when you weren't? Have you ever carried something for so long that you stopped talking about it altogether? Most people have. More people than you realize. And maybe that's why so many people feel lonely, even when they're surrounded by others. Because every human being wants the same thing: to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. Life has a way of testing all of us, sometimes through failure, sometimes through disappointment, sometimes through loss, sometimes through our own mistakes. And when life gets difficult, we often ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But maybe a better question is, what is this teaching me? Because every challenge leaves us with a choice. We can become bitter, or we can become wiser. We can close our hearts, or we can open them. And something strange happens when we're going through difficult times. The days feel long. Sometimes the nights feel even longer. But the older we get, the faster the years seem to move. We make plans, we chase goals, we worry about tomorrow, and one day we realize something: life is temporary. A teacher once shared words with me that I've never forgotten. Work as if you're going to live forever, but pray like you will die tomorrow. One day our jobs will end. One day our titles will disappear. One day our possessions will belong to someone else. But the way we treated people will remain. The kindness we showed, the forgiveness we offered, the love we gave, those things are set in stone. Our spiritual history tells us that prophets were tested, people of tremendous faith, people of tremendous patience, people of tremendous character. If they faced hardship, why would you expect a life without struggle? What if the struggle isn't there to destroy you? What if it's shaping you, preparing you, strengthening the parts of you that comfort never could? What if one day you look back and realize that the thing you wanted removed from your life became one of your greatest teachers? Think about the people in your life. Is there someone you need to call? Someone you need to forgive? Someone you need to thank? Someone you need to spend more time with? Someone you need to listen to? Life moves quickly, and sometimes tomorrow never comes. Are you waiting for the other person to make the first move? To call? To apologize? To extend the olive branch? What if they're waiting for you? Now let's talk about you. How are you doing? Really? How are you doing when no one's watching? How are you doing when the day is over? How are you doing when you're alone with your thoughts? Because your story matters. Your life matters. Your struggle matters. And every person has a story worth hearing. At Wriders, you and I can build a community focused on helping each other become better. Better listeners, better parents, better spouses, better neighbors, better friends, better human beings. Because when people become better, families become stronger, communities become stronger, you become stronger. Will you let me listen to you? What is in store for you? In the comments below, please, can you write your name? Please, can you tell me how are you doing? Please, can you share what life lesson you are learning? Because behind every screen is you. Peace be upon you. May God guide us all. My name is Jamal. If nobody asked you lately, how are you doing? I'm listening.